What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Doc's Daily. It is Thursday, November 20th. We are live, full effect here. I'm joined with Craig Trapp and Robert Ferringo. We're going to talk all things. There's a lot of college basketball on, so these are two guys you want to talk to about that anyway. Excuse me. Little NBA, small card on for the NBA, a whole slate of the ice on for the NHL, and we got an NFL game tonight.
And a college football.
Yes, and a college football. I just whatever college football.
Like what? 7 starters out for Arkansas State suspension.
Yeah, I nothing. Even this degenerate has no college football on today.
DJ's that's a DGen special right there.
Yeah, even I didn't creep to that. I'd rather go play. Dollar.
Craig's excited though. I smell a play. He knows.
No, I don't.
Arkansas State.
I just imagine like, hey guys, you're going to get one primetime game this year. 7 starters or 7 players that play suspended like that. Butch Jones has got to be going, I have to do what? Obviously, they didn't want to spend the guys.
What's the talent disparity between the starter and the guy backing him up? Like, I don't imagine it's very large at Arkansas State. I imagine they're the same guys.
I don't know.
I think these teams are the same team.
It's a razor thin,
Spider-Man meme. They're both pointing at each other. I feel like they have very statistical similarities along the road.
I thought degenerate Lenny would definitely have a teaser in this game.
You'd think I would. You would. But as soon as you saw
7-point teaser for the 7 starters that are out for Arkansas.
No, see that's a dead
one for each guy. 1 point for each guy.
I have a limit. I have a limit.
Oh.
It's like, in baseball, 11 runs. I'll never bet over 11. I'll never.
I roped you into a couple of them this year.
I know, and it's scary. That was the biggest sweat all night. Was one bet. I might have had $1,500 in plays for the MLB. That one bet I sweat because it was over 11 that Robert made me do. And I said it. Robert made me do it. I won, but whatever.
It's the Lafayette Houston Texans teaser.
Yeah, like I tell you what, the Texans.
It ain't horrible, okay?
No secret, Stroud. If the Texans win tonight, the underdogs, like the ugly underdog theory, is like this is as ugly as it gets. The defense is good, but I mean, Webb. Remember 2 games ago, wasn't it? I forget who they lose to, where they basically couldn't cross midfield when Stroud went out.
It was Denver, but they do that to a lot of people.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like I have argued,
really good.
Listen, I have argued for a while that I think Davis Webb is actually a decent developmental prospect. That if somebody like O'Connell or Shanahan or McVay got their hands on him, that he profiles very well with the types of quarterbacks, the Brock Purdy's, the Mac Jones. Like, he throws a good ball. He's a pretty good decision maker. He had that one season that he started when he was a rookie because they got hurt. Like, I think he's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL, frankly. Like, they had problems on offense when CJ Stroud was in there. They've actually been a little better on offense since Davis Mills has taken over. Now, some of that has been they've gotten some of their wide receivers back healthy, okay? And that is not a good defense. That is a great defense. Like, Houston's secondary is probably the best in football, even better than Denver's. And I think that they're going to be competitive in this game tonight. I'm using Houston as a play.
I think this is the Bills have been up and down. Like, Bills have been as good as anybody in the league, and they have had a couple losses that you scratch your head and go, how does a team with this talent and an MVP at quarterback lose like this? So that's the question. I think they need to run the ball more. When they brought in Brady, right? That's the they started to run the ball more. That really changed the trajectory of this team.
Yes.
They sometimes forget about it, though. It's like, I don't know how with Josh Allen and Cook and the success they have, but sometimes they forget about it.
I mean, honestly, I think the part of the running game that has been missing over the last year and a half has been the Josh Allen part of the running game, which it came back last week.
I think they're just scared to get him hurt. I think they're trying to tell him, like, don't get hurt. Dude,
they 100% are. Maybe they're just
not at his best playing like that.
Right.
I mean,
it's like Ben Roethlisberger. If you told Ben Roethlisberger in his heyday, don't hold the ball and shrug off 5 guys.
Yeah, right.
Like, dude, if he had to make his first read, that's just not where his strength lie.
Right.
And same with Josh Allen. His ability to make guys come up and then be able to throw over the top is where a lot of the big passing plays happen. So if you don't run the ball, they don't do that.
But there are a lot of opportunities that he has to take off in the pocket and then get down and get yards. Instead, he'll either dump it off or throw it away. Like you need to be a threat in the passing game. And when he's more of a threat, like his rushing attempts are way down. When you're a threat in the rushing game, now the defense has to take someone out of the pass, like the pass defense, and account for you with the spy. So you're actually making things easier for you. And by the way, Buffalo is third in the Anytime TD up.
This is what I gave out right here today.
Third in the NFL. Buffalo is third in the NFL in rushing attempts per game. So, I mean, I know a lot of Buffalo Bills fans are like mad at Joe Brady and all this stuff. Like Joe Brady's the best thing that ever happened to the Buffalo Bills. Like he's right there with my boy Clint Kubiak among the best offensive coordinators in the.
I think he's going to be a hot commodity in this.
I do too.
Maybe not. I thought at first maybe LSU would go back to him because remember he was the
100%. Why wouldn't you?
Well, they have not been interested. Like that's been. I mean, I guess they're still so far in on Lane Kiffin. It's like, dude, like everybody's in the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes. Like he can only coach at one school.
Right.
I think
he's kind of a proven loser. Like he's going to make the playoffs. They're not going to do anything. Like what has Lane Kiffin ever won? What has he ever done? Like why is Lane, you know what I mean? Like he's flamed out at so many places, Tennessee with the Raiders, USC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, he's doing a decent job at Ole Miss. Like, okay, fine, great. Like he's had a good 3-year run. Like why is Lane Kiffin some kind of genius now that everybody wants him?
I think people think if you can win at Ole Miss and then you get the resources and the talent level that LSU or Florida usually has, like, dude, he'll be better. That doesn't always work.
Right.
Sometimes guys are really good coaching up, like prospects to get them to be like Jackson Dart, for example. Like, I mean, that was a great job he did to get him where he was. And he's done a great job this year. I mean, you can't hold anything against him. And he was this close to being undefeated right now. But, I just think it's going to be whoever takes the LSU and Florida job, it's so much pressure. Like if you go to LSU and you don't win a championship every year, they want your job. If you're at Ole Miss and you go 7-5, they're going to give you an extra chance.
I just like we're talking about two guys, right? Like Joe Brady, everywhere he's been, his offense has been unbelievable. The LSU offense was one of the greatest of all time.
Ever, probably.
The 1 year that he had in Carolina with Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know if you remember that year. They went like 8-8. They scored a ton of points, and they were a great underdog. His offense in Buffalo has been phenomenal the 3 years that he's been there. Like everywhere he goes, the offense is awesome. You can't say that about Lane Kiffin. Like a guy like Jim Harbaugh is a mastermind coach because every single place he goes, he wins. Can't say that about Lane Kiffin. Like everywhere he goes, he eventually flames out. Like,
although I will say after he left Nick Saban, I think Nick Saban definitely had an effect on him to kind of point him in the right direction, and he could just watch. And he's a smart enough guy to learn from him. And since he left, he went to FAU, he won there, and then, of course, he's won at Ole Miss. So maybe it's like the pre-Lane Kiffin or the pre-Alabama years.
Kiffin,
Because we see – but I will say this. Just because you're from Nick Saban tree, we've seen a lot of guys flame out there. But we've seen some great ones, obviously. Cinetti, like Kirby, like you go down, there's some great ones. But there's just as many that failed. Yeah, just as many. I think Joe Brady would be a perfect LSU, but I think he'll be like fifth on the line. By the time they get to him, I think the NFL will be way more, like appealing to him by that time. There'll be some NFL openings out there that, I mean, imagine if he got Tennessee with Cam.
Well, I think, but here's the thing: like Tennessee, the Giants, you have a bunch of jobs that are open. That like these teams can't afford to take a shot on another unproven coordinator. You just can't do that. Like,
but they're all offensive. Like they all have young quarterbacks. That he's done a great job with young quarterbacks. So
Robert Saleh, Mike McCarthy. Those are the top two guys. Those are the top. Brian Flores.
Like McCarthy,
like Brian Flores, Robert Saleh. Those are the top three guys that should be going for NFL jobs.
It sounds like Giants want McCarthy pretty bad, and like they might actually move on that early because they don't want to obviously wait for other jobs to open, and now they got to compete against that. I think that would be a good fit for McCarthy. Like the Dallas years with McCarthy, I think it's just so,
all they did was win 12 games every year.
They're polarizing. I would just say that. They're polarizing.
Polarizing nothing. Like the Giants have been one of the worst franchises in North American sports for the last 8 or 9 years, right? Like the concept of winning double-digit games and losing in the first round of the playoffs 3 straight years is like manna from heaven.
They would take that.
You know what I mean? Right. Like who wouldn't take that, frankly? But for me, the dream pairing for any of these teams, particularly the Giants, I would want Robert Saleh. I would convince him to come back to New York, if for nothing else, to stick it to the Jets by turning around them, and grab Mike McDaniels as your offensive coordinator. I would get Mike McDaniels first. I would make him the highest paid offensive coordinator in all of football. And I would say to any head coach, listen, this guy's a package deal. Saleh and McDaniels work together in San Francisco, and I think Saleh's smart enough to be like, yeah, absolutely, I would take that guy. Now you got Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, and Neighbors with Mike running on Mike McDaniels offense and a Robert Saleh defense. Like that's.
I'm all about Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator. I am all about that. I don't think he's head coach worthy.
Does these coaches though, because there's going to be lots of openings, obviously more than what there is now, come down to who's the quarterback? Because you have like, okay, Cam Ward. Do I like Cam Ward more than I do Jackson Dart? Because it's a quarterback league, so you're kind of tied to your quarterback. If your quarterback sucks, you're probably going to get fired at some point.
I don't think so, because I think, again, a guy like McCarthy just wants back in. A guy like Brian Flores, who was kind of blackballed because of what happened with Miami and him suing the league and like that. Like if the Titans offered Brian Flores that job, I don't think that ever got settled. I think that's still making its way through appeals stuff, frankly.
I wonder if that's why he hasn't gotten a job, because
it 100% is why he didn't immediately. But if he got the Tennessee Titans job, let's say, if the Titans offered him a job, I think he'd take it in a second, because he knows that there aren't going to be a ton of offers, number one. And number two, the NFL knows that they would win that suit. Like that suit would get dropped and go away if he got a head coaching job. So it's kind of a win-win. And I think it'd be a decent spot for
a quick settlement, like all of a sudden, we both settle, and now he's got a head coaching job.
Now we're
I don't know. Tennessee, if I'm anybody, I don't know if I want the Tennessee job. I like Cam Ward, actually, but I mean, when you push Mike Vrabel out for the job that he had done, it kind of doesn't make any sense. So to me, that whole front office issue is like, man, I don't know. If you didn't like Mike Vrabel, what am I going to do here? I mean, look what Mike Vrabel's done. I mean, he's coach of the year right now. I mean, it could change, obviously.
I still think Shanahan. I still think Shanahan. What? They have one less wins. They're in the best division in football, arguably. It's either the AFC West or the NFC West. They have one fewer win against a tougher schedule, played with their backup quarterback for half of the season, and like everyone on their defense, half their defense is dead. Like, I don't even think they're injured. I think those guys died on their defense. Like, what he is doing with a bunch of like schlubs is amazing.
Well, pretty much him, like the Vikings and the 49ers. Me and IC joke about the Pelicans training staff should go back to med school or something, because it's like the whole team's always injured. The entire 49ers and the Vikings teams, look at how many different starting quarterbacks they've had to play the last few years. Like, I mean, the key players that are out, it's crazy. So NBA tonight, speaking of NBA, only 4 games, Robert. Is there anything that you kind of like? The Kings in a back-to-back. The Kings have already said, like, hey, we think we're going to trade away all of our guys. It's like,
what guys?
Like all these 36-year-old guys. Who do you think wants these guys? They're all max players almost.
Right.
Is there anything you like tonight?
Yes, I have a 7-unit total in one of these games that I am not going to tip my hand on. I would not trust Memphis as a favorite against anybody right now.
These two, right? Memphis and Sacramento. Like, these are.
Yeah, Sacramento is so bad, but there is absolutely no way that I'm trusting Memphis laying points to anybody. They're like Washington bad, like Charlotte bad type of thing. Like they're not even attempting.
It's funny that they were never favored, and then John Morant goes out. Now they're favored.
Right. Seriously. I'm looking at San Antonio a little bit. I know they have a bunch of guys that are out, but so does Atlanta. Like, Atlanta's not a very big team, and without Ricochet and Porzingis in there, they get even smaller. I like them better without Trae Young. He's a loser, and they have been playing better without him. But now that they're missing their big guys, they just can't protect the basket. Like against Detroit was getting whatever they wanted offensively the other night against them. So looking at San Antonio a little bit, but I do have a 7-unit total tonight that I love.
that game was a little deceiving. I watched that Atlanta game, and Atlanta battled all the way back. I think they either took the lead or were down one, had like several chances to kind of actually get ahead of Detroit. And they just, I mean, point blank shots, turnovers, some tough turnovers. It was like they kind of ran against the wall. Detroit, but don't hold that against them. Detroit has won, Lenny, what, 10 of the last 11?
Detroit's nasty.
Like, and I mean, they play defense. Like, they play defense. One of the few teams. And that Atlanta, actually, without Trey, they play defense now. No Porzingis, no Trey. Guess what? Their defense is way better because effort is how defense is played. And all these guys, Alexander Walker, Shea's cousin, is playing great. What a pickup that was. And obviously with Trey out, he's played great basketball. I had a problem with him.
They needed to trade him 2 years ago. And hopefully it's becoming more and more clear to them now that they need
Who wants him though? That's it. It's like,
oh my God, there's so many teams that would.
Jaw's the same thing. Jaw's the same deal. It's like, who really wants them now? Like what you could have got 2 years ago, and what you can get now, I think is just
Sacramento, right? But Sacramento would take them. They're dumb. They're idiots.
Yeah, but do you want back some of those old guys?
There's a lot of teams in the East that I think that would take them. I think a team like Milwaukee, you could bilk into. Hey, pair him with Giannis here for a couple of years, and he's a younger version of what you were thinking about with Damian Lillard, right? Like a team like that, you could talk.
And there's enough defense around him that, to me, you have to have a really good defenders around him and good rim protection because he's not staying in front of anybody. So that actually does fit. I had always thought the Knicks, but then they went out and, of course, got Brunson a few years ago. So I was like, all right, well, that's over. So I don't know. Like, I just don't know how many teams are out there.
I agree that you probably wouldn't get what you could have gotten 2 or 3 years ago, but you could still get a nice package for him. I mean, the guy still averages 26 points, 11 assists. Like, he still is an exceptional offensive player. And there's always going to be a market.
The Lakers pre-Luka was always the talk that Trae Young and LeBron and Anthony Davis were going to team up. That kind of made sense because I thought Anthony Davis is such a good defender. He would help him out. And then I thought Trey would get a ton of easy shots because you can't help off anybody.
Listen, how about a team like Minnesota? Like, put him out there with Minnesota where you have a ton of other point guard. That they need a point guard, someone to play off Ant-Man. They have enough other guys that defend. The problem is, what would you have to give up to get him? But I don't know. With the way the West is set up, I think I would mortgage a little bit of the future if I were Minnesota because there's a definite ceiling to where they can reach. They are not one of the 3 best teams in the West right now. But if they had Trae Young, Anthony Edwards, what they have on the interior and on the wings, that's interesting.
You know what hasn't worked with the Spurs team, in my opinion, is Fox. Pre-Fox coming back, this team was unbelievable. He's kind of dribbles the ball too much. He's like the old James Harden, like dribble. It's like, dude, you have one of the most transcendent players in the league. Like, you just throw it near him. No one can block him. And it's like they just forget about him. They go 5 possessions in that Warriors game without Wemby touching the ball. And Draymond Green's guarding him. I like Draymond Green as a defender, but come on, dude. Like, that guy can't handle him.
50-year-old Draymond.
Fox shot the ball 3 of the last 4 times, and he missed all 3. Now, I know he's coming back from injury. Maybe he'll be better. So that's the worry of that team. But Castle's out tonight. Wemby and Harper. All 3 of those guys are out. Guess what all 3 of those guys do? Defend. Those are the probably best 3 defenders, even though they do have a lot of defenders. So tonight, I was kind of thinking over in that game a little bit.
Right.
When you're missing your first 3, and when they put guys in, they're better offensively, to be very honest. Like, Castle's not the greatest outside shooter. In fact, he's a poor outside shooter. So I kind of think it over in that game tonight. NHL, Lenny, tonight, what do you think? It's a big card.
I got a lot. I got to do my
How many ties you got?
You guys haven't shut up in 18 minutes.
How many ties you have?
Don't make me mute you. Don't make me mute you. New customers, you get a free $60 account. DocSports.com/free60. There's a link in the description below. I'm contractually obligated to tell you this 18 minutes ago. Free $60 account. Use it on these 2 knuckleheads anytime you want. Any handicap or any package, anything you want there. YouTube member, you got to buy your own jacket, but we supply winners. $4.99, $19.99, $49.99. Everything's in the link below. I like a lot of NHL. A lot of NHL. I'm way more invested in the NHL. I didn't even get to college basketball. Robert, you know how many college basketball plays I have today? Robert, how many college free picks videos did you do?
4?
I have 4 free plays today in college basketball.
Nice.
I followed them all. I just followed them all while I was, I ain't gonna lie, making thumbnails. That's where my college basketball is. This is what me as a capper that doesn't have a lot of time, the guys like these two knuckleheads will provide so much knowledge in free pick videos that it just, sometimes it's easy, shortcut, if you will. But I got a lot of NHL, and I do like, Jack asked the question about Columbus. Yes, and yes, and yes. The Islanders are going to win. The Red Wings, I don't trust them. But I do like the Blue Jackets and the Maple Leafs tonight. That's my favorite draw. I got 2 going. $5. That's all I ask. You got to go membership.
I disagree with you. 2 things real quick. I disagree with you on the Wings. The Islanders, this is the 7th game of a 7-game road trip. They've been on the road for 2 weeks, and this is it. And that was kind of a nasty game with Dallas the other night that they played down there. So what do they have left in the tank? I agree with you that the Wings are shaky as hell. Like, you never know what team is going to show up. They can beat anybody or lose anybody on any given night, but they have won 3 out of 4. They are playing at home. It's not like they're on some 3 and 4 night back-to-back tough, situationally that sets up better than that. I want to get your opinion. Why is that Ottawa-Anaheim line where that is?
Wrong. We've been talking about the Ducks a lot, and me and you specific. You like the Sharks, the Ducks, all West Coast hockey. I'm all over the Ducks tonight. Personally, I'm on the Ducks in regulation plus 150. I think the Senators are not a good team. I don't know why they get. I think they just get.
Why are they favored?
Because they're a Canadian team.
Why are they favored? Anaheim's 13-6.
They're 3-3-2 on the road. Okay, again, going against the Ducks team that's 7-1. If this is a trap, then I'm hook, line, and sinker.
Sure.
I'm hook, line, and sinker. It is what it is. So I figured instead of just money, I probably just take the money line. I'm greedy. So I did in regulation. But I like them.
I know.
But your Islanders, or not your Islanders. I'm sorry. Back to that road binge. They're 4 out of 5. And what really sold me on the Islanders tonight, I have money against my Wings, is the Islanders have 3 out of 5 games, or they've won 4 out of the last 5. 3 out of those 4 wins were in overtime on the road. Mm-hmm. That's hard to do. Go in somebody's house, grind it out in overtime, 3 different road games, and then win. The Islanders are undercover better than they record.
It's also kind of lucky, though, is how I look at that. You know what I mean? They've won 5 out of 6 on the road. 3 of them are in overtime, right? So they're just a couple small things away from being 4 on the road. And that's a lot of extra hockey to add on to the travel aspect of it. So, again, the more I'm looking at this NHL card, the more I like a lot of things, and I kind of overthought it today, but definitely like Montreal. Definitely like Tampa Bay minus 1.5. Edmonton is just kind of they're just kind of a mess.
They're broke.
I like Vegas.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
San Jose. There's a lot of juicy numbers here on the ice.
Lenny, what's the best over team? What's the best over team in hockey this year? It's not close.
I don't bet a lot of totals, so
Toronto's I think 12-4 or 14-4 to the overs this year. They had 2 unders in a row.
Wow.
2 unders in a row now.
Yeah,
so
hey, nobody tell Nick and Griffin, but I do like the Blackhawks today. I do think that's a pretty short line on a good team.
I agree. It reminds you of the Calgary game a couple nights ago, right? That number was short.
but isn't the Blackhawks? When next time I talked about this, the Blackhawks are a great underdog better. When you get them at that plus 110, plus 115, dude, they have been cashed this year, especially early in the year when you're taking the plus 1.5. I think they won 4 of their first 5 against the spread, getting the plus 1.5. Since then, now the odds that they're much closer. They're favored a lot too.
I mean, it's 10-5-4. They're playing good hockey, man.
I think they're under. I think you're going to get a lot of value on them in the beginning of the season. I think the book will catch up to them probably All-Star break, but for now, them The Sharks are a decent team. I'm going to tell you right now, if it wasn't against the Kings tonight, and that matchup is a battle, that might be a draw play as well for me later in the night, depending on how early hockey goes, because the Kings and the San Jose Sharks don't like each other. It's like the Crips and the Bloods. I don't know what it is, but it'll be bad. It'll be physical hockey. But the Ducks are they're so underrated, and you get price tags on this. Like I said, if you fall for this trap, if it's a trap, it's a trap. Whatever.
That number doesn't make any sense.
But to be fair, this is not the first time we've seen a number like this for them this year.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And the book has not caught up to them. I don't know if they're this good, if they can sustain this all year. They're 7-1 at home. And they're getting plus money.
Anthony, Lenny likes the Islanders tonight because he does not trust his wings. I wholeheartedly disagree. I actually like Detroit because the Islanders are on the 7th game of a 7-game road trip. They just played a really physical game with Dallas the other night that I think either went to overtime or was going to go to overtime, but they waved off the goal in the last seconds. Detroit's won 3 out of 4. They're playing on home ice. So he likes the Islanders. I really like Detroit.
This has to be Detroit's heyday of sports. Like, as far as all your teams are actually good now.
Yeah, man.
Like, this is the first time that one of them
lived through the 90s before the internet and all that shit.
Well, the Red Wings
and the Pistons were winning, and the Wings were winning cups. This is nice to be in first place now.
Dude, there's guys that are 30 that didn't experience that, Lenny.
Back then, that was better. When there was parades with the Stanley Cup. And then there were the Bad Boys, and then there were the Barry Sanders days.
What year did Barry Sanders retire?
Like 96, 97, something like 98, I want to say.
It was before 2000.
This tells you if you're older.
Did he make it in 2000?
No.
So the guys that are drinking in Detroit.
By the way, if you guys want a free play while he is looking this up, if I hadn't lost a 7-unit play and wasn't a little gun shy earlier, plus I have like 3 7-unit plays today. College basketball, I got a game that I love. I got a daily prop pick. I think I'm 23-11 for plus 7,000 with my prop. So I got a prop tonight in that Houston Buffalo game that I really like, and my NBA total. I should have went for the grand salami tonight. I love Vegas tonight. I love Vegas. Like, Utah is another one of those teams that every day for the last 2 weeks, I'm looking at their numbers and I'm like, why is this team being priced this way? Like, they opened as like minus 140 favorites at San Jose. They were minus 130 at Anaheim. They were minus 220 favorites against the Islanders last weekend, and they lost. Like, they're 2-8 in their last 10, and they have been favored in every single one of those games except for one. Like, I don't know who thinks Utah is like some big team, but that game is basically a flip. Vegas is better than Utah. They're playing better than Utah, and this is a really cheap price. So there's my free play for you: is take Vegas.
But I don't hate it. Someone said that Vegas has if you bet $100 every game on every team in the NHL, Vegas is one of the least profitable teams.
Because they're jacked up at home so much. Because their home money lines are so out of control. It's like them in Colorado. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no value on there. You got to put them in regulation.
Right.
Yeah, they price you out of it.
But again,
Utah though. They've lost their last 3 games in overtime 3-2. They can't finish games, right? Yeah. They just can't do it.
So you're saying take the plus 1.5, Lenny?
I don't hate that. I don't think Vegas blows them out of the water, but I do think Vegas wins. But then think about Utah is Arizona. Empty netter.
Yep.
I'm not playing the empty netter. there's better games on the. I'll probably throw a half a unit at the draw.
Yeah, I think think about it. Utah is Arizona. That's what I keep going back to.
Yeah.
How much does ownership and fan, support matter that you just moved the team? They haven't made that many different moves, and all of a sudden, Utah's good. Like, they're a competitive team. They've got 10 wins. So, it's a good story. I feel bad for the people of Arizona that went to all those games for years, and they're like, "See you taking your team," but it definitely matters.
I rode the Zamboni there.
I
did. During an NHL game.
Since I know you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, swear to God. Yeah, I rode the NHL. I rode the Zamboni during
playing Detroit, right?
in between periods 2 and 3 of a Coyotes Red Wings game. I was the guy on the side of the Zamboni. I made the Jumbotron. My fat ass was waving to everybody.
Were you betting at the time? Were you like on your app betting?
I made my bet prior to the
on the Zamboni. I got a live play.
They wouldn't let me wear my Red Wings gear though on the Zamboni on home ice in Arizona.
That's
so I had to turn my shirt inside out and take my hat off, and I was like,
yeah, they should have made you go shirtless.
I wanted to. My wife said no, but man, I wanted to. Ladies love Lenny. Anthony, I do like the Islanders, but calm down. Calm down. Detroit's not fraud. I took it too far, Anthony.
I got one college basketball play, UCF tonight. Like, dude, I watched that Pitt West Virginia game. I might be wrong because I only got to watch Pitt at this point in the year. I haven't watched every team multiple times. I watched the Pitt West Virginia game. That was embarrassing against your rival. And these are two former Duke guys, by the way, Dawkins and Capel squaring off here. So both have been pretty disappointing, to be very honest. I thought both these guys could be really good coaches. I don't think that's the case. Maybe Dawkins a little more. I'm going to take UCF's a flyer on them just because Pitt looked uninterested against their rival.
I want to see if Purdue can cover that number against Memphis tonight.
Have you seen Memphis yet?
I wouldn't recommend betting it. They're not good.
I know they're not great.
Memphis, this is not a good Memphis team at all. And I'm firmly on record as saying that Purdue is the best team in the country. And I think hands down, they're the best team in the country.
The win at Alabama, that was impressive.
They manhandled them. They controlled that game from start to finish. And then you saw what Alabama, not only what they did to St. John's on the road, basically, but what they did last night to Illinois on the road. Illinois, I love Illinois' talent, but they're still just so shaky. Like, they just make the wrong play at the wrong time. Like, they have Final Four talent, but they don't play the type of basketball that is.
I'm not an Underwood guy. I don't like him. I don't know why.
I'm starting to sour on him because all of his teams play exactly the same, which is out of control. Like,
Alabama is going to be a feast or famine team. They got so many young guys, and they play so fast. If you can slow them down, you can beat. I mean, Purdue literally said, we're going to walk the ball up and guarantee less possessions. And when you have two senior guards, you can do that. There's not many people that have senior guards that are going to go play like that. So I do think Purdue rolls tonight. I was also thinking over in that Kansas State. Kansas State loves to push the ball. It's 162.5 against Mississippi State. I kind of thought the over there as well, a little small.
Again, I'm more like you always have to bet neutral site games different. That's why I want to see about that Purdue game. Like, it is hard to go to a neutral site in one of these tournaments and beat a team by like 18 or 20 points.
Yeah. That's the Bahamas
tournament. Yeah. So you know what I mean? Like,
tournament
you just let off. You start resting guys. Guys start resting a little bit, knowing that they have to play again tomorrow. I also cannot believe that Wake Forest line is going as high as it was. I thought it was a solid number around 7.5 or 8. Remember, Wake Forest almost beat Michigan. This Michigan team is awesome. They are a Final Four caliber team. Like, Texas Tech is not. Texas Tech is a very good team. JT Toppin is an All-American caliber player. Christian Anderson is one of the 10 highest rated KenPom players right now. Like, those two are excellent. But they lost 5 of their top 7 guys from last year's team. Like, this is not the same caliber of Texas Tech team. Wake Forest, like, this is kind of a make or break year for Steve Forbes. It's almost like NCAA tournament or bust for him. So to see that number at double digits, and again, it's on a neutral site. It's not like there's a home court that we have to worry about. I know
it's in Bahamas. Is this Atlantis? Is this the Atlantis tournament?
This is not the battle for Atlantis. No, this is the Baha Mar Championship.
And Purdue and Texas Tech will play if they win.
Correct.
Is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Dude, that would be a great game if they get to that. That would be – I'd love to see that. I do think Purdue will be probably 6-7 point favorite, but I think Texas Tech, they have enough talent, I think, to at least hang with them for some of the game.
I agree with that. Like, they're Texas Tech better as an underdog than as a big favorite. Yeah. I just like the majority action is on Wake Forest, and that number went from 7 to 10.5. Even touched a couple of 11s this morning. Like, I do not really understand that line movement. All right,
I thought maybe someone was injured because
this is Thursday Night Football. This was just Thursday night football. He's like, I was square as a dollar bill in this Thursday night.
I gotta tell you though, like if you want to tease this game though, okay, with the under, don't you think it would make more sense to tease Houston up to 13? Because like it is realistic that Houston wins this game, right? Like they could win this game 20-17, 23-20, something like that. Like Buffalo lost and really got manhandled by Atlanta on the road. They lost and got manhandled by Miami on the road. Houston is better than both of those teams. So if you're looking at tease, give yourself a nice fat 2-touchdown cushion with that under. That's just what I would think if you wanted to tease this game tonight.
Plus, I always thought it was a correlated parlay type game that if you like the over, you should take the Buffalo. If you like the under, you probably should be on Houston because I don't think Houston's winning in a shootout. I just don't think that.
Sure.
Yeah. But I think they could win in a lower scoring game. That's the, as they say when you're watching the politics, that's their road to victory. They pull out the map. The road to the victory for Houston is through their defense, and it has to be lower scoring, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if Houston scores 10 points.
Have you watched Buffalo's defense lately?
Buffalo's defense.
What about Buffalo's defense makes you think that they're going to do anything?
I was thinking all the rushing props.
It's more of a Houston's offense. Houston's offense is broken. I mean, just broken. I think their coach needs fired. I'm just saying.
If Ryan got fired, he would be one of the hottest commodities in football if Ryan got fired.
Look, I'm not saying their defense isn't elite. I love the under. But if I also think this game could end up 17-3. Buffalo.
I don't see that. I think Buffalo only has one way to play, and it's unfortunate their defense allows lots of points, so they have.
Yeah, but that defense isn't going to let them play that way and get there. I mean, Buffalo will still score and get there, but I mean, because Houston will keep them in check. But I don't believe Houston's as bad as Buffalo's defense is. Houston's offense is just as bad.
I don't agree with that. Like when you look back lately, they played Seattle's defense, San Francisco's defense, Denver's defense, the Jacksonville defense, and they put up 36 on them. And we saw what Jacksonville did. To say what you want, there's a lot of talent on that defense, and we saw what they did to the Chargers last week. By the way, I apologize for the dogs, but Doc Sports is dog friendly, man. We're underdog.
Hey, I don't tell you, my dog's been barking at the Amazon guy for 15 minutes. I thought my dogs were barking because they heard your dog. So
well, the Houston offense has faced a lot of very good defenses. And say what you want about Tennessee. They were off a bye. That was on the road. That was not in good weather. Like there were a lot. They knew they had Buffalo on deck. They were coming off that big comeback win. Like there were kind of some reasons for that. So I'm not as sour on Houston's chances tonight. Like Buffalo's defense is shaky, dude. They are not good at all.
Which is crazy because McDermott is a defensive guy. So you would think this defense would sustain, but it also Buffalo does score pretty quickly. Like, they have a lot of long runs, a lot of long passes, and all of a sudden, dude, the defense is out there a lot. Lenny, all about that. When Detroit was scoring all those points, it made the defense look twice as bad because they never got a rest.
Well, like I got a ton of Buffalo friends from upstate New York that live down here with me in Georgia, so I follow them pretty closely. They all used to rag on Tremaine Edmonds. Their defense has not been the same since they let Tremaine Edmonds go to Chicago. They have not replaced him in the middle. Matt Milano has been very good for them. He's also been hurt a lot. So when he's not in there, they have had bad linebacker play. Their safeties are not as good as when they had Hyde and Poyer a few years ago with those corners. So like their back seven is just not very good. And, they're just issues. There are issues with this team. They also have a bunch of receivers. Like I don't think Dalton Kincaid is playing tonight. Keon Coleman was inactive last Sunday for violating team rules and stuff like that. He's not going to play again tonight. So I don't know, man.
He's not. I thought he was playing tonight.
I had read earlier today or last night at 2 a.m. that he was probably not going to play. They might suit him up out of desperation, but the last thing I read is he was not going to play again. That was from Pro Football Talk.
Lenny, what's the odds because if you're going to bet Buffalo to win the Super Bowl, it's before this game tonight. Because if they win big tonight, the odds are going to go way down. I still think Buffalo. There's a lot of people that are down on Buffalo because the defense has been, not what people could have imagined. I still think they're a real legitimate shot, especially that their bugaboo Kansas City might be They might not have to play Kansas City.
Playoffs might not make the playoffs.
Right. They might not make it, or they might not have to face them this year because Kansas City's going to have to go on the road throughout the playoffs, most likely now.
Buffalo
so I think
plus
this is
800 plus 800 wins Super Bowl on DraftKings right now.
So I'm guessing it goes down to 750.
And to be real quick, to be fair with this teaser, I don't think there's a wrong side.
You might get both.
I think you could. I think Buffalo wins the game. So if you tease them down to whatever +1 or money line, or if you tease Houston up, I don't think Buffalo's blowing anybody out either. So I just
think a lot nicer than I am. I think that there's a wrong side. I think it's dumb to tease Buffalo to +1.5. I think you tease Houston up to 13 because what's more likely to happen? Buffalo blows out Houston tonight on the road. Look at what underdogs have done on Thursday night all season long, right? Look at what Buffalo has done on the road all season long. So which is more likely, that Buffalo blows out Houston or that Houston beats Buffalo by like 3 points or wins a close game or something like that? Like, it's much more likely that Houston wins this game, I think, than they lose by 20 at home. Like
that win against Tampa Bay, I think Tampa Bay is really good. Like, that was a shootout. I was like, that's a game I thought they could lose.
You just need to get healthy, though.
That was a
receiver problems,
and I don't think they're getting healthy.
And those Bucky Irving,
right? They need their tight end healthy. They need their offense healthy. If Tampa Bay gets healthy, they're dangerous.
Tampa Bay's got the advantage of they only right now basically have to beat Carolina. If you look who's left, like they just have to win that division. They're going to be in the playoffs and get a home game. So it's like Carolina's playing great, but they're on the road this week, right?
Yes, no, at home against San Francisco, or they're on the road.
Yeah, they're playing San Francisco. So I think San Francisco is going to beat them this week. So if Tampa Bay can, like Lenny
said, they got to get healthy. That team that they brought up to Buffalo just wasn't a very good team. Frankly, they have been outgained in 6 straight games. You look back at some of the wins that they had early on in the season. They won a lot of close games that they probably shouldn't have won. That was just Baker Mayfield doing Baker Mayfield things and kind of carrying them. Like, right. The Houston game.
And I look for Baker maybe to do Baker Mayfield things this Sunday night. I mean, this is going to be a good game with Matt Stafford and Baker Mayfield. I don't care.
I don't like betting against him as an underdog, but
that's hard.
Stafford,
and I don't like betting with Matt Stafford giving up this many points. Let me tell you. I got PTSD.
What did they get? 4 interceptions against Seattle, and they didn't cover. That was my big play last week. I had the Rams.
That was brutal.
They just couldn't cash them in. They couldn't cash anything in. And then once they were up and they could allow a touchdown, they played the prevent defense, and it was like this watermark right down the score. I'm like, this team deserves to lose. But I do think that's a tough game because that was a big one. They had to win that game because that division, you said it earlier, the West in both the NFC and AFC is just ridiculously tough. You could go from top to bottom because you're playing head-to-head here. All of a sudden, you're out 3 games or something. So that was a must-win. So it's a big letdown spot, I think, at Tampa this week.
But until I see Tampa play well, like I said, they have been outgained 6 straight games. They are not bringing their full complement of offensive weapons. Like, I think that they're out over their skis a little bit. I think the Rams could really hammer them this weekend. I really do. Like,
if the Rams don't have a letdown, I think you're right. It's just, can they handle winning that big game in the division and then travel?
Yeah. But they don't have to travel. They're at home. That's why I like the Rams.
This is in Tampa.
No. If it was in Tampa, I'd 100% agree with you. But they went to Buffalo, went home. Now they're going to Los Angeles. Back-to-back home games for the Rams. Like, I think it's more likely that this one's like 31-17 than it is that, it's like 28-23 or something like that.
I do think if this was in Tampa, I'd be all over Tampa.
Tampa's got to score.
That line would probably be about 4. Maybe
3.5.
And I could hit that about 10 all day long. I'd be all over. You'd take Visa here.
I might have to look at a team total on the Rams this week because they had so many chances last week. They didn't do crap. Yeah. I kind of think they're due this week. And Tampa, like, they couldn't even sniff a stop against Buffalo.
No, they could not.
Like, if they get 1 or 2 stops, I think Tampa would have won that game.
There were 7 lead changes in the first half. Like that interception that Josh Allen threw early on in the game, the 2-hand push pass from the end zone, like that was ridiculous. Like, that was close for a half, but like I said, Tampa Bay they just wear out. They don't have the bodies right now.
I think it's saying something too when you're a team in a bad division and you don't have to win every week because to like stay up. It's like they're probably like, like, hey, we have a little room for error. We can rest Bucky if we need to. We can, rest Godwin if we need to. Because guess what? All we got to do is beat Carolina. Atlanta, freaking, are you kidding me? How bad is Atlanta? What a freaking, like,
God,
Raheem Morris has got
total. Rams team total is 28.5, and the Bucks team total is 20.5. This is just DraftKings. I just looked this up real quick.
I kind of like them both.
Top your lines.
Over, Rod.
Under for me. That Rams defense, man.
Yeah, man, they're legit.
That's just because what's his name was throwing it right to guys. It was like, dude, what do you?
I
don't know. I'm watching the game. I'm like, dude, he is throwing it right to them.
They have only given up over 20 points once in the last 5 weeks, and that was the San Francisco game where they were up by 30, and they just gave up some garbage time.
Might be that case this week too.
To them, but yeah, it could be. It could be. This could definitely be good.
This could be a good game.
That, to your point, Craig, like the Rams offense didn't cash in on any opportunities. The week before that, they hung 45 on San Francisco. We just saw what Buffalo did to Tampa Bay. That's why I'm telling you, I'm going to be laying the points in this game because that's what I think. I think the Rams are going to, again, 38-24, 38-20, 37-26, something like that.
Over. That's what you hear, Lenny. Did you hear that?
You guys, right? You guys could see the stat.
Right?
Matt Stafford does Matt Stafford things. The thing about Matt Stafford this year that has been completely different than every other year in his career is he has limited his interceptions. You could be good for a Matt Stafford pick. Usually, as a prop, you can add that onto a same game parlay. It was pretty consistent for a long, long time.
This is the best two receivers he's ever had, right? Puka and
this year he's 27 touchdowns
Adams?
and 2 picks.
I don't know. Kelvin Johnson and literally anyone.
Dude. Yeah,
you can make a pretty good argument.
Puka,
you can add Puka and an old Devontae Adams. This isn't Devontae in Green Bay.
I don't know. He's had some really good games this year.
He's got 7 touchdowns in the last 4 games.
They just don't. They don't throw to him that much. He did drop 2 last game that I thought could have changed it. Puka fumbled when they got the turnover interception on their side of the field. That could have been like they missed. They left some points out there. That's why I kind of think this week they put up a bunch of extra points because it's like you're not going to miss those. You're not missing those banks.
Is this your who did you pay Scott to say this? I mean, do you owe him a T-shirt or something, or what's the deal?
Is he definitely playing this week?
No. He's not playing.
He's definitely not playing.
Definitely, Joe Burrow is out. Joe Flacco is playing.
Joe Flacco. Smoking Joe is back. That Joe.
Joe Flacco is.
All right, gentlemen, hold on. I got to run. We got football picks that are due in 4 hours and 10 minutes, 6 o'clock Eastern time. All the plays will be loaded up. Use that free 60, all that good stuff. We will talk more college and NFL, obviously, tomorrow.
Play this parlay tonight and thank me later.
I ain't doing it. All right, good luck unless you're against us. We'll see you tomorrow.